Hey guys, how's it going? Obi here with Lionstrong Fitness Global, and thank you for tuning in for another video. Guys, in this video, we're going to talk about the importance of doing hybrid movements when it comes to training. And what I see by hybrid movements, what I'm trying to say is, doing things that challenge the body from head to toe. Things like man makers, things like squat to press, things like jumping jack presses, things like pull throughs, things like weighted burpees. These are all movements that are highly effective and great when it comes to burning tremendous amount of calories and and creating that metabolic effect for the metabolism to speed up. And the reason why, guys, is for the simple fact that these exercises are not comfortable to do. They're not fun. They're not anything that people ever think of when it comes to doing a training session. They're not things that you look forward to doing. But anyone that gets my programs will see that I put them at the end, or I put movements like this are very similar, if not the ones that I just discussed, at the end of my programs, which, by the way, you can get them at lionstrongfitness.net/fusion, and you can look at my catalog of Lionstrong Fusion Training systems. I have levels 1 through 7. At the moment, I have levels 1 through 4, but I just wanted to plug that in. But I like to put movements like this at the end, more of like a gut check. When you get through my workouts, you're obviously exhausted because I like to keep my intensities pretty high and stuff like that. But when I throw in these hybrid movements, I'm doing it for a reason. Of course, I know they work. Of course, I know that they are total body muscle recruiters, and they will help you as far as achieving your fitness goal and your physique goals and really stimulating that metabolism. But I know that it's going to challenge you mentally, guys. And that's just the biggest takeaway I want to talk about in this video is I think, personally, guys, I think being in good shape, once you've mastered it, once you've mastered the basics and you understand how this game goes, the game of training, that the heights that you reach is predicated not on the routine that you're engaging in, not on the amount of reps you're doing, right? Not on how much weight you're lifting, right? It's about giving maximal effort despite how you're feeling on days that you're tired. I've said this, I think it was on like my TikTok videos. By the way, guys, my TikTok is at Lionstrong Fitness Global. It's plugged everywhere, the same name, Instagram, so on and so forth. But I talk about even the days that you're not feeling your best. The reason why I'm such a big proponent of doing shorter training sessions is because I'm always looking for maximum intensity. And I noticed that the shorter the workout, the higher the intensity. Okay? But even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, when you have that mindset of I'm going to do the best I can and go and really go all out and push through the pain and push through the discomfort, and the way you go about doing that is by doing certain exercises, which, by the way, you don't have to do. I mean, most people don't do stuff like man makers, a dumbbell burpee. They don't do, if you go to my Lionstrong exercise vault channel, I have over 128 exercises that I have demonstrations for. They don't do dumbbell lunge matrix. They don't do alternating jump lunges. They don't do, all these things that are just uncomfortable. Because the biggest thing, guys, the biggest takeaway is developing what's between your ears. Because once that's developed, once that muscle is stronger than anything else, right? What you see on the exterior is not only easy to build, but it's easy to maintain. And that's the key, guys. So when you're training, right, from a conscious level, you're training your body, right? But on a subconscious level, you're training your mind. Because in order for you to get to the next level, you have to take on more pain, take on more suffering, take on more adversity. In fact, when you do these training sessions and you're doing it properly, especially the way that I prescribe, and you're manufacturing adversity on a regular basis and you're taking it on willingly, right? And the funny thing is, how it's good, especially if you've been doing this for a long time, right? For those that are new, I'm not trying to scare you off at all, but I just want you to know the reality when it comes to training. Training is like a video game. You get to level 1, you get to level 2, you get to level 10. The levels get more and more difficult. But despite it getting more and more difficult, you're more and more adept to handle the difficult levels. You're more suited to deal with it and as opposed to you when you just started, right? When you've climbed one mountain and you see the next mountain that's a little bit taller, it's not going to be as intimidating to you, because even though you understand the challenge it's going to be, right? The confidence is there. The resilience has already been built from the previous obstacles that you had to face. And because those obstacles have strengthened you, that's why you're ready for the next challenge. And you know what's funny, guys? That's how I design my programs. From level 1, it's challenging. It's not as challenging as level 2 or level 3 or level 4. But you know what's funny though? When you get to those higher levels, you're prepared for it. In fact, you know it's going to be hard, but that's what excites you now because of the challenge, because you accepted it back in the beginning. So see, guys, I'm going on a tangent here, but the reason why I like to do these hybrid movements, these gut check movements, the main reason why, guys, is because I want you to be stronger mentally. And that's something that I tell my clients all the time. I tell people all the time is the way a person looks is a testament of what they're willing to do, how far they're willing to go. And the thing is, guys, even if that's not you, even if that's something that doesn't come to you naturally, it's not part of your personality, you can learn this. And the best way to learn it is by following a particular system that is engineered to sharpen how you are and to change your mind state. And the mind state typically changes when you are doing work that's associated with challenge and with adversity. And that's what Lionstrong Fitness Global is all about. Guys, it's funny because I get asked all the time, why the Lionstrong? To me, it's just, I have always thought about and envisioned and desired being at the top of the food chain, being the most feared, the most respected. And I think when you put yourself through so many things from a physical standpoint, and you receive the gift, at the time it may seem like a burden, but you receive the gift of dealing with adversity on a regular basis, you become that monster. I'm not in a bad way, but you just become, you feel unstoppable, right? And that's how I feel, and that's what I feel, I want you guys to feel. I want you to feel like that king of the jungle, that lion, that no matter what obstacle comes in your way, you smile at it, you laugh at it, because you know it isn't nothing, because you've dealt with things that has prepared you for that moment. And people, guys, when it comes to training, they don't look at it this way. They look at it as just sets and reps, but for me, it's deeper, guys. And this is why I do what I do. And this is why when I make these videos, I'm not just talking about the regular fitness stuff. I like to dive more into the more nuance behind a lot of things. I think there's a lot of information out there as far as how many reps and sets. My programs will get you in tip-top shape, guys. That's undeniable. The system's flawless. But when you do each program, you're gonna walk away being stronger mentally. And that's what it's all about. And when you become stronger mentally and you build that grit, that is what allows you to keep what you have. You see people all the time getting all these surgeries, right? You know, if you don't have an eye like I do, you're not fooling nobody. People get these surgeries, they get all these operations done, and they find themselves rebounding back to where they were. You wanna know why? It's because they never built that foundation. They never put themselves through anything that made them appreciative. And because they never trained the way they should, they never developed the intangibles to allow them to keep what they have. But people always want to skip the uncomfortable parts. But I look at the things that are most uncomfortable as a blessing, more or as much as it can be a curse. You know. But anyway, guys, I'm just talking here. But guys, I appreciate it for watching my video. Be sure to like the video if you do me that warm favor, and be sure to subscribe, guys. More information coming. This is Obi with Lionstrong Fitness. And also make sure that you check out the description links. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Follow my other YouTube channel. It's called Lionstrong Exercise Vault. And if you guys have any questions, as far as anything, make sure to email me, Lionstrong. I lost my train of thought. LionstrongCEO@gmail.com. And you guys, make sure you guys head to my website. Check out my Lionstrong Fusion Training systems, as I discussed. And with that said, guys, you guys have a great day. Take care.